All right, we're back after the dog quit barking.
Yes, hey guys, I'm Megan Hayes, and this is The Future is Female. I'm here with the lovely storyteller, stand-up comedian, Ruby Cooper. One of my favorites. How are you, girl?
I'm good.
Even better now.
I was better before. I'm better now.
You're
I'm
so
just,
good.
Every minute alive is better.
Oh, I love that. Girl, you have lived such a truly exciting, amazing life.
It's been interesting. It's
Yeah.
a wild ride. What do they say in Disneyland? An e-ride.
An e-ride?
It's been an e-ride.
An e-ride. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about your life. You did stand-up for a while, right?
I moved my kids, sold the big house in the suburbs of Oak Park, Illinois, and moved to San Francisco in 1979
Just to do stand-up?
just to do stand-up.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, my youngest daughter, they were 7 and 9, and Kirk was 15, and the 9-year-old, she said, "How can you just move it? You can't move us off our block." I
Right.
said, "Well, yeah, I can, because I have custody, and you don't have any choice of anything because you're a kid." And
Served. Yeah, exactly.
now neither one of them would trade that life. However, neither one of them talk about it because they say no one would believe it.
Oh, okay. All right. I love that. So
Yeah.
now you got to do stand-up with some of the greats, right?
I did.
Such as...
We'd start with Robin Williams because
Yes.
he was
So you got
the
to
best.
so you got to work with the greats, Paula Poundstone.
Dana Carvey, but Robin was the best. And then a guy named Gil Christner, who is still working, but nobody seems to know who he is, but he's fabulous. I don't know, I knew a lot of them because everyone who came through San Francisco in the late 70s, there was a place called the Holy City Zoo. Mm-hmm. And that's where we hung out. That was the main thing. And then I went on the road and came here in 1990 after the road.
So what was it like working with in a predominantly male-dominated field? Because
And it was good and it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're guys, and
do you find it was a boys' club?
it was a boys' club. It was an absolute boys' club, and they were bratty about getting the best times and the best gigs, and they would bitch about women. She's talking about menstruation, and I think I think a lot of it was just because they didn't understand. They could talk about something. They could talk about women, but we couldn't talk about ourselves. Now, what's that all
Really?
about? Yeah.
What's that
Like, they
about?
could make fun of people having cramps and people having headaches and shit all the time. But nobody, if we talked about menstruation, then they didn't want to hear about it.
What do you think that's about?
I think it is that double standard. I think it's ignorance on their part. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it is. I think that it frightens them, that we are so powerful. And they know that.
Do you think that is all, like, what's going on in Hollywood today is because, like, why do you, I mean, like, you just said they're scared of how powerful we are. Like, talk about that a
I
little
don't
bit.
think Hollywood. I think the whole world. I think that's why women are kept in, the Muslim women. And though this is going to be really, there are a lot of Muslim women who say, "Oh, I like it wearing the full cover," but that's, not really most of them. People like to. I know that in Saudi Arabia, women can't drive. Now they're just starting to do that, but it's control. It's a control issue, because if you keep people down, it's just the same way that you control people economically. If you keep women down, then you are in control. If you keep them ignorant, if you humiliate them, if you keep them pregnant, if you keep them whatever, we still don't make the same salary.
That's true.
Here's an interesting thing. So I teach English, and this woman from Kazakhstan, we were talking, and this is just a few months ago, and she says, she's 26, and she was at class in Santa Monica College, and she said, we were talking about women's rights because I had gone to the March on Washington in last January, wearing my pink pussy hat. And
Yes,
blah, blah, blah.
girl.
And she said, "What is that all about? This whole thing?" And this pussy word, she didn't understand at all.
Okay.
I said, and so she said, we were talking women who all speak English as a second or third language in Santa Monica College. She said, "Why are women complaining in America? You have everything. You have all the rights." So it looks from other people like we do.
Right. Right. That's really interesting.
Yes.
And also, do you think, I mean, all the stuff that's like come up lately in the last, the Me Too movement and all that, don't you think, I mean, do you think that it's like, I think that Hillary not getting elected might have been the last straw for women. Don't you think? Or what do you think?
I'm not sure. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't see the movement that I saw in the early 70s. That movement was so difficult. So what's the word I'm looking for? It was radical. It was a radical. We scared the hell out of even liberal men. My husband, for instance, who would have been, I mean, he was a good guy in many ways, except he slept with a babysitter. But he was, yeah.
Whoa!
Okay.
God. Okay, that's another video blog altogether.
Okay,
I
strike
think you
that.
just
He was
like
a
threw
good
that
guy.
away. You're
Right.
like, oh, just because he did this. So.
But I personally, in hindsight, think that he did that because he was so insecure around me.
It's threatened by you, right? And
Yeah.
your strength and your
Yeah.
power. I
And he
think that's
told-
a common thing. Yeah.
And he told me after 10 years of marriage, when we were getting a divorce, he said, for 10 years I've been intimidated by you. And I said, what? For
know.
God's sakes, why didn't you mention it 9 years ago?
Exactly. You know what's fun? First of all, you don't seem you're not intimidating at all. And you guys use that word with me all the time. And I'm like the nicest fucking person. I don't understand.
I don't
I
either.
think maybe it's a strength. They're threatened by a strength.
It is a strength. It
Or
is
we're
an
funny?
inner strength.
Are we funny?
We're funny, but we're also confident in ourselves.
Yeah. Well, to lap back to the funny part, do you think that being a funny woman might have intimidated these comedians back in the day? Or even now, I think.
I don't know being funny, but if you're committing, you should be funny.
Right. Well, yeah. But not funnier
So
than
that's
them.
kind of irony.
Yeah.
But my husband called, he said, it's the serpent's tongue. I have the serpent's tongue. And I do have a...
Way to get biblical.
I can be biting. Let's just
right,
put it
sure.
that way. That's the point. And it's a good way to put down hecklers, but if you're putting down your husband, it's probably not a good thing. So, maybe I wasn't a very good wife.
Maybe not across the board a way to live. Who knows? I don't know. You seem super awesome to me, so what do I know? I love it.
Yeah, but you're a woman.
I wouldn't want to be on your bad side either. So you're a very strong, amazing woman.
I just do what I feel like I need to do. That's all.
I know, I love that.
Isn't that what everybody does? I thought everybody did that. And I thought, I don't understand where that comes from. I don't think I'm any stronger than you are, or most of the women that I know.
That's true. I know a lot of strong women.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So let me ask you one last question. I always ask everybody to give a little shout out to a woman that they have a crush on that they think is like really strong or a role model. Who would you woman crush Wednesday for?
I think Michelle Obama.
I was just thinking that too. Oh, shout out to Michelle.
I also like Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. I mean, she was a major hero
Amazing.
of mine. Yeah, and she said human rights belong to everybody, or they belong to no one.
Oh, I love that.
And she wasn't pretty, but she didn't care. She put up with his stuff, and
She's so strong.
She did her own life, and she was a success.
Really cool. And Michelle,
my
so love that you said Michelle Obama too. Also,
Yeah.
I
And Michelle, same thing. I mean, she was his boss to start with.
Yeah, I know.
And but gracious. Gracious and charming and a great mother.
And beautiful,
And
not afraid to
beautiful.
just be feminine and sexy.
Right, exactly.
I love it. Oh, Ruby, this has been such a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Well, thank you for coming out and having a little afternoon visit.
Exactly.
I thank you so much. I am Megan Hayes, and this is The Future is Female. We'll be back next Wednesday at 3.